The biggest debate that you're going to have at this show is, do I get a 29 or do I get a 37? Yeah, but we'll hop inside and we'll show you what the accommodation difference is for sleeping and for carrying friends and family with you. So now we're on board the Axopar 37. This has truly been it is our best-selling model. In fact, we've got multiple orders already pre-sold for the year. And so our next available is now going to be summer-ish. However, here you can see we've got the ash sofa. This has a newer styling package called the Mediterranean package. This is a waterproof material, but it's really nice and comfortable to sit on. It feels more like a cloth material. Okay, back on the 29, good cockpit space. Very similar actually in terms of its length this way. It's just going to be a little bit narrower than a 37. So your space and your storage is not compromised on a 29. You still get the fender boxes, which are the same size. Still get this nice bench seat at the back here, which is a very similar size. So if you're concerned about storage or space or versatility on a 29 versus a 37, you're going to find that it's very similar. As we move forward, you've got an excellent bow space. This will be a spot that a lot of people will want to hang out. With the Mediterranean package, you do get a little bit thicker side bolsters here. You get more cushioning, bigger cup holder, the ability to seat people up here, hang out, lie up on this pad. I still think though that on a 29 versus a 37, the way they've reconfigured the bow section on the new 29, it just makes sense. You have a nice big bench here to sit at. You've got this that can be made into a table, or you can have it as a nice sun pad area. You have lots of flexibility. If you decide to come up here and lounge, you can come lounge. If you want to have a meal and dine or have just an afternoon hors d'oeuvres, you can do that as well. It just offers a lot more flexibility, and there's still good storage. There's storage all the way around this entire U-shaped seating area. You have a separate anchor locker. You get access right here to the forward berth or forward head. You have a lot of good features and good options up here for when you're out on your adventure for the day. Back to the accommodation piece real quick between the 37, which you can go enter from the cabin. But here, you still have a great big space. I've been in this space. It's very comfortable. We have many customers that have slept and overnighted on it. The big thing with the 29 is there's a lot of modular and flexibility in terms of the way you can use this boat. It doesn't just have to be a one-purpose boat. Day boat. They've offered a good flexibility for sleeping. They have offered great flexibility for carrying passengers and guests and friends and family and having fun on the boat. You have different zones to hang out in here on this boat. So now inside the 37, you've got more seating flexibility. You've got this nice big bench here. I really like how it's nice and wide. You've got two bolsters. This can flip this way, so it's much easier to be social with the people that are with you here. You got access to a nice big table. You can seat 7 people in here quite comfortably. Biggest difference I would say between the 37 and 29 is your accommodations here. So we can go down here into the forward cabin, and here we've got a nice space. You've got a nice big berth, which is very comfortable and very big. You got good storage lockers here. You got somewhere just to sit and chill. But what's actually really cool when you sit here is you could pop this open. And now you got this really nice open air feeling, but you're a little bit more private down here. Good airflow, but it also just gives you access outside of the boat as well. Even if you were loading things in here, you could open that, bring your gear in and just drop it in here as well. So lots of flexibility, lots of choice. Also, while you're down here, you're probably wondering where the head is. Well, you've got a nice enclosed head compartment right here. Again, electric flushing head, goes to a holding tank, overboard discharge. There is a shower compartment here as well. You can close this space off, a little bit more private than go back. When we're inside the 29, the storage access is actually quite nice. So you can actually flip this over. You can store things in here. There's lots of room for your gear, even a little coolers and stuff. So that's a little bit easier on a 29 than it is on a 37. But you could put a table in here that would serve people right here. These 2 seats can turn around. So you can still do all of that. It's just not as built in as it is on a 37. One of the big things I got to point out though is when I am inside this boat, doesn't matter if it's 29 or 37, I'm in the middle of the boat. So you've got lots of exterior deck space. We're all inside the middle of the boat. So keeping that center of gravity is number one, low. So you don't get that bad tippy feeling on some boats where it's a lot more cabin and room that you may not use. Plus, when you're in the middle of the boat, you don't have an issue where somebody's standing off to one side or somebody's standing on the other side. because we're just moving on the inside the middle of the boat here. So you don't get a lot of tab issue where the boat's falling off one side or the boat trying to fall off one side. You do get on a lot of other bigger, more volume cabin vessels. And if you can get the opportunity to, go for a ride on the boats. That's truly what will help you decide what works and what doesn't work for you guys. So that wraps up my overview between the 29 and the 37. This is the new Icon Gray hull. It's one of the latest new colors and designs from Axopar. Looks awesome, and I think on the water it's going to look even better. I'm Peter, here at Freedom Marine. Happy to show you these boats in person, get you on the water.